Hello everyone, welcome once again to this online session. Today we are going to start the numerical part of this chapter, work and energy. So in the last live session I had done few sums from this chapter. So in today's session I'll be taking up the remaining sums. Okay, so let's start now. See, look at the question here. Certain force acting on a 20 kg mass changes its velocity from 5 meter per second to 2 meter per second. Calculate the work done by the force. So you have to calculate the work done by the force when the force is acting on a object whose mass is 20 kg and its velocity changes from 5 meter per second to 2 meter per second. So first we'll take the mass is 20 kg and velocity is 5 meter per second, and then we'll calculate kinetic energy, and then we'll take second case with mass 20 kg, mass remains unchanged and velocity is 2 meter per second. So both the things you have to find out, and change in kinetic energy, because there is a change in velocity. Initially it was 5 meter per second, then it was 2 meter per second. So you have to subtract these two answers which you got by substituting 5 meter per second and 2 meter per second, and that gives you the work done. Okay, so let's start now. See, certain force acting on a 20 kg mass changes its velocity from 5 meter per second to 2 meter per second. Calculate the work done by the force. First, we will take the mass is 20 kg and velocity v is 5 meter per second. Substituting the values of 20 kg meter per second in the formula, kinetic energy is equal to half mv square. You get half into 20 into 5 square. So that becomes what? Half into 20 into your 5 square will be 25. So when you cancel this, you get 10 into 25, which is equal to 250 joule. So this is in the first case when your velocity is 5 meter per second. So there is a change in velocity from 5 meter per second to 2 meters per second. So let's calculate the kinetic energy when the velocity is 2 meter per second with mass is 20 kg. So same formula we will take, half mv square for kinetic energy, and in the place of m you will put 20, and in the place of v square you write 2 square, which becomes 4. So you get half into 20 into 4, which is equal to 40 joules. So now there is a change in velocity. Obviously the velocity reduces from 5 meter per second to 2 meter per second. So there will be a change in kinetic energy. So this is your work done. So change in kinetic energy is what? The kinetic energy that you got in the first case, which is equal to 250 joules minus the second one 40 joule, will give you 210 joule. So this is your work done. Change in kinetic energy is 210 joules. So we have already learnt that this kinetic energy is talking about the energy possessed by an object which is in motion. So work is said to be done when the object is said to get displaced. So when it is moving, it is said to do some work. So work done here is change in kinetic energy, which is equal to 210 joules. Okay, now next question. An household had consumed 250 units of energy during a month. How much energy is this in joules? So they want you to represent the energy that is consumed, which is shown in terms of units, in terms of joules. So you all know that 1 unit is equal to 1 kilowatt hour. Therefore 250 units is equal to 250 kilowatt hour. So now 1 kilowatt hour is equal to 3.6 into 10 raised to 6 joules. Therefore your 250 kilowatt hour will be 3.6 into 10 raised to 6 into 250, which will give you 9 into 10 raised to 8 joules. Clear to you? Just direct substitution. 1 kilowatt hour is equal to 3.6 into 10 raised to 6 joules. So when you multiply this 3.6 into 10 raised to 6 joules with 250, because you are converting 250 units, which is 250 kilowatt hour, into joules. So you have to multiply this 250 by 3.6 into 10 raised to 6, which will give you 9 into 10 raised to 8 joules. Clear? Now, next question. An object of mass 40 kg is raised to a height of 5 meter above the ground. What is its potential energy? If the object is allowed to fall, find its kinetic energy when it's halfway down. Okay, so an object of mass 40 kg is raised to a height of 5 meter. it is taken to a height of 5 meter above the ground. What is its potential energy? If the object is allowed to fall, you have to find its kinetic energy when it is halfway down, because when it is coming down, it is showing some movement. So at that time, you have to calculate the kinetic energy shown by the object when it is halfway, while it is coming towards the ground. Now, taking the mass as 40 kg and your gravity, which is given as acceleration due to gravity, which is given in the question itself as 10 meter per second square, and your height as 5 meter, because first they want you to calculate the potential energy for an object of mass 40 kg raised to a height of 5 meter above the ground. So at that time, the potential energy, direct substitution using the formula mgh, you get m as 40 into g is 10 meter per second square into height is 5. So when you multiply 40 by 5, you get 200. 200 into 10 will give you 2000 joules. So this is the potential energy when the object is raised to a height of 5 meter above the ground. Now, you have to calculate the kinetic energy when the object is halfway down. So, if you want to calculate the kinetic energy of an object which is halfway down, you need to calculate the potential energy when the object is halfway down. So how to calculate the potential energy when it is halfway down? Halfway down, they have already said 5 meter is the height. Half of it will be 5 divided by 2, which will give you 2.5. So now to calculate potential energy when the object is halfway down, you have to take mass as 40 kg, acceleration due to gravity g as 10 meter per second square, and your height h is equal to 5 halfway, no, 5 meter is the total height. So half of it will be 5 divided by 2, which will give you 2.5 meters. Substituting the value of m as 40, your g as 10 and your h as 2.5, you get 1000 joules. Now, you know that according to law of conservation of energy, the total potential energy is equal to potential energy at halfway down plus kinetic energy at halfway down. We need to find kinetic energy when the object is halfway down. So you know the formula for total energy is nothing but potential energy plus kinetic energy. So now what is the potential energy we got? We got it as 2000 joule when the height was 5 meter. What is the potential energy when it was halfway down? Half plus half will give you 1, no? So half potential energy of the object when it is halfway down plus kinetic energy of the object when it is halfway down will give you total energy when it is at height, that is 5 meters. So now this potential energy at halfway down plus kinetic energy at halfway down will give you the total energy. Now we want kinetic energy halfway down. So you have to take this potential energy halfway down to the other side. It becomes total potential energy minus potential energy at halfway. So total potential energy we have calculated as 2000 joules by substituting m as 40, g as 10 and your h as 5. And potential energy halfway, it is given here by substituting 40 in the place of mass, small g 10 meter per second square, and your height h is 2.5, you got as 1000 joules. So when you subtract these two numbers, 2000 and 1000, that is 1000 from 2000, you get 1000 joules, which is the kinetic energy of the object when it is halfway down. Clear to you? Look at the next sum. An electric heater is rated 1500 watts, that is power, right? Power of the electric heater. How much energy does it use in 10 hours? So you have to find the energy consumed by this electric heater in 10 hours, if it is used for 10 hours. So taking power P as 1500 watts, you have to convert this watt into kilowatt because they have asked you to calculate the energy, which is always in terms of kilowatt hour. So watt should be converted to kilowatt. How will you convert watt into kilowatt? By dividing it by 1000. So when you divide 1500 by 1000, you get 15 upon 10, which is equal to 1.5 kilowatt. Again, I'm telling you, the power of the electric heater is 1500 watts. They are asking you to calculate the energy consumed by the electric heater when it is used for 10 hours. You know the formula, that is power is equal to energy used upon time. So we want energy which is equal to your power into time, right? But energy unit is kilowatt hour. So for that reason, since they are asking you to find the energy, you need to convert watt into kilowatt. Watt can be converted into kilowatt by dividing it by 1000. So you get 1.5 kilowatt. Time given is 10 hours. Now, you know the formula for power. Power is what? Energy consumed. I'm just writing it as energy. Energy used upon time. Time is given as 10 hours, right? So in the place of power, it is 1.5 kilowatt. Energy we don't know. So I'll write it as E. Time is 10. So I want energy means this 10 should go there. So what will happen? It will become 1.5 into 10, which is equal to 15. This is kilowatt and this 10 is in terms of hours, right? So this becomes 15 kilowatt hour, which is equal to 15 units. 1 kilowatt hour is equal to 1 unit. So 15 kilowatt hour will be equal to 15 units. Clear? Now, next question. Calculate the work required to be done to stop a car of 1500 kg moving at a velocity of 60 km per hour. See, calculate the work required to be done to stop a car of 1500 kg moving at a velocity of 60 km per hour. Velocity is always in terms of meter per second. But see, they want you to calculate the work that is required to be done in order to stop a moving car. The mass of the car is given as 1500 kg and it is moving at the velocity of 60 km per hour. So, you all can ask me a question. Always when the object is at rest, we say the energy that is possessed by an object by virtue of its position or state is what is called as your potential energy. So when a moving car stops, what happens? Its kinetic energy becomes zero, because kinetic energy is the energy possessed by the objects that are showing some motion. So if a car stops, then its kinetic energy is also zero. The work required to be done to stop the car will be equal to the kinetic energy possessed by the moving car. So you are doing the work to stop the car which is in motion. So the work that has to be done to stop the car will be equal to the kinetic energy possessed by the moving car, because the car is in motion. That time only you're going to stop it. You're going to do some work in order to make it stop. So here the work required to be done to stop the car will be equivalent to the whatever work you are doing in order to stop the moving car will be equivalent to the kinetic energy possessed by the car when it was in motion. So how to calculate this? Your mass is 1500 kg, which is already given. Velocity is given as 60 km per hour. Now see, kilometer per hour should be converted to meter per second. Right? So how can I convert kilometer to meter? By multiplying by 1000. So 60 km per hour is given. No? So 60 into 1000 will give me 60,000 meters. Right? Per hour. No? 60 km per hour. 1 hour. Per hour means 1 hour. Hour can be converted into seconds by multiplying it by 3600. But here itself 1 hour is equal to 3600. So I'll write it as 60 into 60. So here 60 into 1000 upon 60 into 60, because 3600. 1 hour is equal to 3600 seconds. So 60 into 60 will also give me 3600. 160 and 160 here I can cut. So 1000 upon 60, which is 100 by 6. When you reduce it by using 2 table, you get 50 upon 3 meter per second. So we have converted kilometer per hour to meter per second. Now, next step. So we are calculating the work to be done in order to stop a moving car. So taking the formula, kinetic energy as half mv square, in the place of m, you will substitute the mass of the car, which is equal to 1500. In the place of v square, I'll write 50 upon 3 the whole square, because just now we had converted 60 kilometer per hour to meter per second, which we got it as 50 upon 3 the whole square. So now this can be written as half into 1500 into 50 square, no, which is 50 into 50 divided by 3 into 3. So that is why I have shown here as 2 upon 9 in the denominator, and in the numerator 1500 into 2500, because 50 into 50 will give me 2500. So when you multiply and divide this, you can do this and see, try this and see. 1500 multiplied by 2500 divided by 18, or you can cancel also 1502, 750, right? And you can simultaneously reduce and you can find the answer here. The answer that you will get will be 208,333.3 joules. Clear to you? Question here. Find the energy in kilowatt hour consumed in 10 hours by 4 devices of power 500 watt each. So one device has a power of 500 watts. So there are 4 devices. So the power of 4 devices will be 500 into 4, which will give you 2000 watts. Now the question is to find the energy in kilowatt hour. So watt should be converted into kilowatt. How can you convert watt into kilowatt? You can divide by 1000 in order to find watt, or convert watts into kilowatts. So when you divide by 1000, you get 2 kilowatt as your power of 4 devices. Now you all know this formula. Power is equal to energy consumed upon time. So we know power, which is equal to 2 kilowatt, and your energy is unknown, time is 10 hour. So energy will be 2 kilowatt into 10 hour, which will give you 20 kilowatt hour, or in otherwise you can write it as 20 units. Clear? So you have to find the energy consumed in 10 hours by 4 devices of 500 watt power each. So the power of one device is 500 watts, means 4 devices will have 500 into 4, 2000 watts as the power in it. But this watt should be converted into kilowatt, because they are asking the answer for energy consumed. So how will you convert watt into kilowatt? By dividing by 1000. So when 2000 is divided by 1000, you get 2 kilowatt. Now time given is 10 hours. So by using the formula, power is equal to energy upon time. Therefore energy will be what? Power into time. That is 2 kilowatt into 10 hour will give you 20 kilowatt hour, which is equal to 20 units. So with this we are coming to an end of today's session, and these sums will be posted along with your notes. If you have any doubts, you can get it cleared when we meet during the live session. Start preparing for your upcoming final examination. Take care, and my best wishes for everyone for this upcoming exam. Goodbye.